Imagine loving someone with all your heart, yet feeling like they're a million miles away. You're emotionally invested, but they pull back every time you get close. You wonder, why does it seem impossible to connect? Today, we're going to uncover how to bridge that emotional gap, transform your relationship, and build a deeper, more meaningful connection. It's not just about love, it's about understanding and creating a space where both of you can truly thrive. To truly connect with an avoidant partner, understanding the root of their avoidance is essential. Avoidant behaviors aren't simply about a lack of interest or an unwillingness to be close. They often stem from deeper emotional triggers that have been formed over time. These triggers can be shaped by past experiences, early childhood attachments, or even past relationships. For an avoidant partner, the emotional walls they've built are their way of protecting themselves from pain, vulnerability, and potential hurt. So, it's crucial to recognize that these behaviors are not a personal reflection of how they feel about you, but rather a coping mechanism that they've developed to navigate the world. Many avoidant individuals have faced emotional abandonment, neglect, or rejection in the past, leading them to develop an attachment style that values independence and emotional distance. They may have learned, whether consciously or unconsciously, that getting too close to others can lead to disappointment or hurt. This leads them to keep others at arm's length, especially in romantic relationships where the emotional stakes are higher. In their minds, staying distant is safer than being vulnerable. This doesn't mean they don't want intimacy or love. It just means they don't feel equipped to handle the emotional intensity that comes with closeness. For some, avoidance may stem from a need for control. They may fear that losing control over their emotions will make them vulnerable to emotional manipulation, or that they'll be overwhelmed by their partner's needs. This fear can drive them to retreat into themselves whenever the relationship begins to feel too intense or emotionally demanding. For others, avoidant behavior can be tied to a fear of suffocation or feeling trapped. The more their partner seeks closeness, the more they pull away, viewing their partner's desires for emotional intimacy as a threat to their autonomy. The key to understanding an avoidant partner is recognizing that their withdrawal is not about you or your worth. It's not a reflection of your inadequacy, nor is it an indication that they don't love you. Instead, it's their way of managing their emotional vulnerability. Their fear of being hurt or overwhelmed may cause them to retreat, but this withdrawal is an automatic response, deeply ingrained in their emotional system. They are not intentionally trying to hurt you or push you away. They are simply trying to protect themselves. To truly connect with your avoidant partner, the first step is to stop personalizing their behavior. When they pull back, resist the urge to think they don't care about me or I'm not enough. Instead, understand that their actions come from a place of fear, insecurity, and a deeply ingrained belief that emotional closeness is risky. This perspective allows you to approach the situation with more compassion and less frustration. Instead of feeling rejected, you'll begin to understand that their withdrawal is not about you. It's about their internal emotional landscape. And once you can make this shift in your mindset, you can approach the relationship with patience and empathy, laying the foundation for deeper emotional connection. Creating emotional safety is one of the most crucial steps when trying to connect with an avoidant partner. People who have an avoidant attachment style tend to feel overwhelmed by emotional closeness. This can lead them to retreat, not because they don't care, but because they struggle with vulnerability and the intensity of emotions that intimacy brings. They often fear being engulfed or losing their independence, which can make it difficult for them to feel comfortable in deeply emotional or close relationships. Therefore, fostering emotional safety means helping them feel secure enough to lower their defenses and trust that they won't be overwhelmed by the emotional demands of the relationship. To create this emotional safety, consistency and reliability are key. An avoidant partner may be hyper, sensitive to unpredictability, as their past experiences may have taught them that emotional closeness is unstable or risky. By showing them that you are steady, that your love and care are not contingent on their emotional availability, you help build a sense of security. Small actions like keeping promises, being there when you say you will be, and showing up in ways that demonstrate reliability, create a safe space where they can start to trust that they won't be emotionally abandoned or hurt. The next aspect of fostering emotional safety is allowing space for them to express themselves without fear of judgment. Avoidant partners often withdraw because they worry about being criticized, misunderstood, or overwhelmed by their partner's emotions. One of the most powerful ways to help them feel safe is to show them that they can open up to you without repercussions. This means approaching them with understanding, not impatience or anger. It's important to remain calm and supportive, even when they struggle to share their feelings or when their words don't come easily. Instead of pushing them to open up, encourage them in gentle ways, demonstrating through your actions that you will not reject them or punish them for being vulnerable. A crucial part of fostering emotional safety is patience. An avoidant partner may need more time and space than you expect to feel comfortable sharing their feelings. They might take longer to process their emotions and may not immediately be ready to dive into deeper conversations. Pressuring them or rushing them to open up will only make them retreat further. It's important to give them the time and freedom to share when they're ready, rather than forcing the issue. By being patient and understanding of their pace, you allow them to feel in control of the situation, reducing the anxiety that often comes with emotional vulnerability. Furthermore, showing empathy is essential in this process. Empathy means truly listening to their concerns without judgment, without trying to fix the situation, and without offering immediate solutions. For an avoidant partner, emotional safety doesn't come from being told how they should feel or what they should do, but from being met with understanding and compassion. When they see that you are willing to meet them where they are, without trying to rush the process, they will feel more secure in the relationship, and over time they will begin to trust that you are someone they can rely on. In fostering emotional safety, the goal is not to eliminate their need for space, but to show them that they can take the time they need to process their feelings without fearing that they will lose you or be rejected. Emotional safety is about creating an environment where they feel comfortable being themselves, knowing that they are accepted, loved, and not pressured to change. It is a delicate balance, but by demonstrating patience, understanding, consistency, and empathy, you make it possible for your avoidant partner to open up at their own pace, leading to a deeper and more secure connection. Effective communication is one of the most vital tools in building a connection with an avoidant partner. However, communicating with an avoidant partner is different from communicating with someone who is more openly emotionally expressive. Avoidants often fear emotional overwhelm, which means they can be sensitive to how you express yourself. In these situations, the way you communicate, both in what you say and how you say it, can either create a deeper connection or push them further away. The key is to communicate with clarity, compassion, and respect for their emotional boundaries. When dealing with an avoidant partner, it's crucial to approach them with kindness and understanding rather than criticism. Avoidant individuals are often wary of feeling judged or criticized, and these feelings can lead them to shut down emotionally. To prevent this from happening, shift the focus from you to I when expressing your thoughts or feelings. Instead of saying, "You never listen to me," or you always avoid talking about your emotions, you could say something like, I feel disconnected when we don't talk about how we're feeling, or I would love to hear more about what's going on for you. This type of communication focuses on your feelings and needs without putting pressure on them, allowing them to feel less defensive. Another key aspect of effective communication is timing. An avoidant partner may be more willing to open up when they are not being emotionally overwhelmed or confronted in the heat of the moment. If a difficult conversation is initiated when emotions are running high, it may make your partner retreat even further into their shell. Choosing the right time to have meaningful discussions, when both of you are calm and in the right emotional space, can lead to more productive conversations. It also helps to express your intention before diving into deeper emotional topics. For example, saying, I'd like to talk about something important and I want to make sure we both feel comfortable sharing, sets a positive tone for the conversation and helps prepare them for what's to come. Active listening is another fundamental part of communicating with an avoidant partner. This goes beyond just hearing their words. It means making a conscious effort to understand their point of view, acknowledging their feelings, and validating their emotions. An avoidant partner may struggle with expressing their emotions fully, so it's important to listen closely to what they're saying and ask open-ended questions that invite them to share more when they're ready. For example, instead of saying, "Why won't you talk to me about this?" you could ask, "I understand that this might be difficult for you to talk about, but I'd really like to understand what's on your mind. When you're ready, I'm here to listen." By showing genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings without forcing them to share more than they're comfortable with, you create a space where communication can occur on their terms. It's also important to avoid using emotional manipulation or guilt to get your partner to open up. An avoidant person can easily sense when they're being pressured or guilted into a conversation, and this can cause them to retreat even further. Instead, express your feelings in a non-confrontational way, showing them that you are coming from a place of care and understanding, not frustration or neediness. Reassure them that you're not seeking to change them or force them into something they're not ready for, but that you simply want to understand them better and deepen your connection. Above all, be patient. An avoidant partner may need more time to process their emotions and express themselves, so pressuring them to communicate more quickly or on your timetable is counterproductive. Sometimes they may need space to think things through, and that's okay. The goal is to foster an environment where both of you can express your thoughts and feelings in a way that feels safe and respectful. By being patient and compassionate, you help your partner feel that it's okay to open up when they are ready without fear of judgment or rejection. This creates a solid foundation for healthy, clear communication that leads to a deeper emotional connection. Respecting your avoidant partner's need for space is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen your connection and build a relationship founded on mutual understanding. For an avoidant partner, space is not a reflection of their feelings toward you, but rather a necessary component of their emotional well-being. When an avoidant person pulls away or seeks distance, it is often because they are feeling overwhelmed, not because they want to end the relationship. Understanding this dynamic is crucial to maintaining a healthy relationship where both partners can feel secure, understood, and respected. One of the most important things to recognize is that giving space to an avoidant partner does not mean you are withdrawing or abandoning them. Rather, it is an act of respect for their emotional boundaries. They need time alone to process their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. For someone with an avoidant attachment style, being constantly engaged in emotional closeness can feel suffocating or overwhelming. They may begin to feel that their autonomy is being threatened or that they are being pushed into emotional territory they are not yet ready to explore. By giving them the space they need, you show them that you trust their process and that you are not trying to control or manipulate them emotionally. However, respecting their need for space does not mean completely withdrawing from the relationship or avoiding emotional connection altogether. It's important to strike a balance between honoring their need for space and staying emotionally present when they are ready to connect. You don't want to leave them feeling abandoned or neglected, so it's essential to find ways to gently check in with them, even if they are pulling away. A simple text or message like, "I hope you're doing okay, I'm here when you're ready to talk," can reassure them that you are there for them without pressuring them into a conversation they may not be ready for. It's also important to note that giving space should not be an excuse for avoiding difficult conversations or emotional intimacy. Instead, it should be about creating an environment where your partner feels secure enough to approach you when they are ready. If you constantly demand attention or push for deeper emotional exchanges, you risk causing them to retreat even further into their shell. On the other hand, when you give them the space they need, it allows them to feel in control of the relationship, reducing anxiety and fostering a sense of security. Trust is also a critical factor when respecting an avoidant partner's need for space. They may fear that taking time for themselves will cause you to withdraw or lose interest in them. Reassure them that your love and commitment to the relationship are not conditional on constant emotional closeness. By consistently showing that you respect their boundaries and that their need for space does not threaten the stability of the relationship, you help them build trust in you and the relationship itself. This trust allows them to feel safer in reconnecting when they are ready. Additionally, recognizing the difference between space and detachment is essential. An avoidant partner's need for space does not mean they no longer care about the relationship. It simply means that they need time to recharge emotionally. This doesn't give you permission to disengage entirely or to ignore their emotional needs, but it's about finding the balance that works for both of you. If they want to take a step back, don't take it personally or see it as an attack on the relationship. Instead, understand that it's a sign that they need to process things on their own terms. In essence, respecting their need for space is not about giving them an excuse to shut you out permanently, but rather understanding that this space is a natural part of their emotional process. By honoring their boundaries with patience and understanding, you allow the relationship to evolve in a way that respects both their emotional needs and your own, creating a stronger foundation for connection. Connecting with an avoidant partner requires a deep understanding of their emotional landscape and a commitment to creating a relationship built on empathy and patience. The first step in this journey is recognizing that avoidant behaviors are not a personal reflection of your worth or love for them, but a protective mechanism they have developed over time. These walls are not built to keep you out. They are a way of shielding themselves from emotional overwhelm, vulnerability, and past wounds. By understanding the root of their avoidance, you are able to approach the situation with compassion and a deeper sense of empathy, instead of frustration or rejection. This shift in perspective can transform your relationship and set the foundation for healthier interactions. Fostering emotional safety is a crucial next step in connecting with an avoidant partner. They need to feel that the emotional environment around them is secure, where their vulnerability won't be met with judgment or criticism. Consistency in your actions, emotional support, and gentle encouragement are key elements in helping them feel safe to open up. When you demonstrate reliability and understanding, you reduce their emotional anxiety and build trust. This creates a space where they can begin to lower their walls at their own pace. The process is slow, but by showing them that your love and care are not conditional on emotional closeness, you help them feel more comfortable in sharing their true selves with you. Clear and compassionate communication is essential in creating the kind of connection that an avoidant partner needs. The way you express your thoughts and emotions can either invite openness or push them further into withdrawal. By focusing on expressing your feelings without blaming or accusing, you create an atmosphere of mutual respect. Speaking with empathy, active listening, and timing your discussions carefully all contribute to a deeper connection. It's about making sure that your partner feels heard, validated, and not pressured into conversations they're not ready for. The more you can communicate with clarity and kindness, the more likely your avoidant partner will begin to feel safe enough to engage emotionally. Finally, respecting your avoidant partner's need for space is perhaps the most important aspect of building a lasting connection. Giving them the time they need to recharge emotionally without taking it personally or withdrawing yourself is crucial. It shows them that you trust their process and that you respect their emotional boundaries. By finding the right balance between space and closeness, you can create a relationship where both partners feel secure, understood, and valued. This dynamic of giving space while staying emotionally present when needed allows for a healthy, sustainable relationship built on trust, respect, and mutual care. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I truly appreciate your interest in these ideas, and I hope the insights shared help you in building a deeper, more connected relationship. If you ever need further advice or support, feel free to reach out. Wishing you all the best on your journey to creating meaningful connections. Goodbye and take care.